Indian sunburn. Look at that color. Wow. You need to get out in the sun more. Better you than me. See, it hurts when you hit yourself.
I can't rub, I got makeup on.
That's what they do in the movies, right? Yeah. You thought all those actresses got plastic surgery just from...
Well, under this makeup, I'm pretty pink now.
Isn't she pretty in pink? Hey!
Yeah.
Welcome back to Rialta News. What's going on, folks? Good to see you.
Good to see you guys.
Hope you've been well. We got a lot to catch up on. This is a pretty short one. We have two topics today. Two topics. One was a topic we came up with. We just want to give you a little advisory. The second topic, though, we got some questions about. So, what's our two topics?
I'm on the edge of my seat.
Are you on the edge of your seat? Awesome. Well, hey, I'm Tim, and this is Nikki. Say hi, Nikki.
Hi, Nikki.
And we're bringing you Rialta News. We try to bring this to you every week or so with just cool updates for the Rialta community. So welcome if you are a Rialtan. You like that?
Wow, that's a new one. Rialtan.
A Rialtan.
I'm a Rialtan. We need shirts. Oh, I guess he's probably already done that.
Don't tell anybody. They'll do it first. No, we're going to get some Rialtan shirts. Yeah.
I'm a Rialtan.
Yeah. Maybe some little bouncy antennas. Did you wear around at the rally?
No.
When you were Rialtan?
No.
No?
No.
You sure?
Let's move on.
Can we vote on that? Who wants the bouncy? All right, whatever.
Okay.
Little Rialtas, just little cuties. Just bouncing. No?
No.
It's all the fun.
So
Where's all the fun? Well, welcome. And if you own a Rialta, or you want to, you hope to, or you just want to follow along, welcome. This is these videos are for you.
Yep.
Cool. Hey, first thing we want to talk about today, though, is if you're traveling through Texas.
Good luck with that.
Good luck with that. It's hot. We wanted to give you it's always, pretty much always hot. There's only like 90 days you could watch this video.
Or it's freezing.
And it's not hot. And in those days, it's probably freezing. So.
Yeah.
Or, it doesn't always freeze.
No, but...
Just from global warming, it's freezing.
When it's cold, it's bitterly cold.
It's just freezing from the global warming. Normally it's hot from the ice age that's coming.
The ice age.
Anyway, if you're traveling...
That was the 60s, Tim.
No, that's right. We missed the ice age. we were busy.
Yeah. Anyway.
What were we doing in the 60s? The advisory we have for you is Interstate 20. If you're going down Interstate 20 through Texas, which we recently did, just something to be aware of. There's a lot of construction. And it will show up on real-time traffic if you're using apps. So what apps would you have to use to see the real traffic jam?
I usually just use Apple Maps.
Apple Maps, Google Maps, Waze would probably have it. But it's not showing up as a normal traffic. It wasn't for us showing up as a normal traffic advisory. And what it was along the interstate, you're just cruising along and you're going 60, 70, everything's cool. And then all of a sudden, it's just a parking lot.
Now, 20 goes all the way from 10 out east or west Texas all the way through Texas. So what part of 20 are you?
This was where the beginnings of 20, where it branched off of 10. 10 turns into 20, and then 20 turns into
20 and
30. Then 20 and 30. 30 is born out of. They just keep giving birth to each other as you go across the country. Anyway, the 20 when you get west is they're doing construction, but they're closing down the lane. Right, stopping a whole lane of traffic and letting a single lane go by, or cutting it down to just one lane. And they're doing it all of a sudden. And here's the issue with that, right? 20 is a major, major, major artery for trucks. And when you're out in Texas oil country, in gas country, right, Midland, Odessa, out that way, that's truck heaven out there. Mm-hmm. So there's a lot of traffic, and they're moving fast, and there's a lot of equipment moving down the road. And you got vacationers, and you got travelers, and us. Couple of Rialtans. So when you're doing that, all of a sudden it's slowing down like that. You need to be prepared for it. You need to be paying attention. And it came up a whole bunch. It also really affected the time of travel. So if you've got deadlines, you got to make it. Some of those were 25 minutes of waiting. Mm-hmm. And then some people were taking exits trying to go around it. You know, Waze will tell you, like, turn right, go through Bob's backyard, and then take a left at Karen's kitchen, and then jump over Elvis's fence. And yeah, so that's great until everybody does it. And now there's a jam up over there, which was happening. So it added to a recent trip, it added almost an hour with the stops, which kind of screws up your plans if you need to be somewhere, get somewhere.
Yes.
Or do
Plan
something.
to leave early and pay attention and
Leave early, be ready for it. The other thing is watch your fuel, watch your gauges. If something's going on, like let's say you were like, oh, it's only 10 miles to gas, I'm cool, I'll get some gas in a little bit. Yeah, except you're going to be stuck in traffic for 25 minutes that you didn't expect.
Yeah.
And then what? Or the other thing, I think the reason it took that extra hour, I think I took pictures of it. There's an accident. One of them caused a wreck because somebody didn't see. You know how it is when the person in front of you like notices everybody stopped and they're going 70, and instead of slowing down and telling you, they just duck out of the way the last second.
I hate that.
And then you're like, ah! You just hit the.
Now you're gonna slam into them.
Yeah. So some of that was going on. So there was some wrecks. There was a truck, one truck over there. There was like another FBI action going over here and something else. So there were some accidents caused by the construction, adding to delays. And I was thinking, good thing, you know, if you just make sure you got what you need. You're traveling with a bathroom and you probably got something to eat and drink, so you're okay there, but make sure you got your fuel.
That's true. And honestly, there's not many highways in Texas that doesn't have this going on. I know he specifically traveled down 20 and experienced this. But I also know 30 is a major freeway of semi trucks and construction,
35
especially
is.
close outside of Dallas. So it's nasty. So
A lot of construction in Texas because there's a lot of growth in Texas.
a lot of growth.
A lot of growth. But this kind of construction is different when they just stop it.
Yeah.
Your whole lane just stops, and sometimes they just let the other guys come through. And when it's highway traffic,
And of course, if you're watching this 5 years from now, then
it'll still be going on.
yeah,
They
it'll probably still be relevant.
moved down the road a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, just be careful, friends. And if you've run into anything that you think is helpful, here's the thing: there's a large community of travelers and Rialta drivers, friends of ours, and future friends, right? That watch these videos. So if there's something, to give them a heads up on. Also, if you're planning a trip. And you're planning out your day, you know how you plan, maybe you drive 3-4 hours to get to where you got to go, maybe you got the kids with you or something even, or the dogs, and you go, oh, we'll go from this one to that one, it's not that far. Something like construction, the road construction or stuff like that can really play a factor in that and planning your day. So if checkout's at noon and you got to get there before dark.
And this really goes for anywhere you travel.
Anywhere you travel.
But
Actually,
just heads up on the 20 in Texas.
yeah, good general tip.
Yeah.
All right. Sounds like she wants to move on. So what's our next topic?
Dash cam.
Dash cams. Huh. So here's what's interesting. I met someone this last month who thought the little camera in the windshield of their new car was a dash cam.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, that's not a dash cam. No, I can see it. It's a camera. They're like convinced me. If that's a dash cam, who's seeing what's on it? That's not a dash cam. Those are just watching the road for the car doing its thing, right?
So the car can brake for you and all that.
Yeah, but a lot of people are putting dash cams in their cars and in their Rialtas. So the question that we have is yes or no, dash cam or no for a Rialta. What do you think?
I say yes.
You say yes.
Yes.
So let's go through some of the pros and the cons,
Okay.
right? What's the number one reason you think for adding a dash cam to your Rialta?
Well, I just say have it because of accidents and stuff. You have a report of what's going on in front of you.
You mean if you get in an accident?
Yes, if something happens, it shows it on camera what happened.
Well, but don't the witnesses, like if somebody does something dumb in front of you, don't they just tell the truth when the cops ask them?
No, hardly ever. Hardly ever.
We saw that happen. Like,
We've seen so many videos of people that will get in front of you, slam on their brakes, and then just tell people, oh, I didn't do it. I was just driving and they hit me.
and tell the police. And
Yeah, so don't trust people.
and the only way out of that, he said, she said, argument,
is
right?
the cameras.
It's just
It saved a lot
give it
of
to the
people.
police and show them the video.
Yeah, because people will even cut in front of you and then say, I didn't do that or whatever. I mean, all kinds of stuff. People will lie about whatever, trying to get out of their tickets. So
And I suspect
protect yourself.
the tickets one. I suspect insurance probably plays a part too. If
Yeah.
they say, well, no, you were asleep, or you were petting the dog, or
Yeah.
you just don't know how to drive. Maybe things aren't covered the same way. I don't know. So I think for sure using that to back you up.
Yeah, just watch some YouTube videos on it.
Oh my gosh, that'll make you nervous.
It's nerve-wracking.
That'll make you nervous. Yeah. So dash cam. Okay, is it distracting having a dash cam in front of you? It seems like it might block the windshield or something. What do you think? You have one in your Rialta, yes?
Yeah.
This
We
one is
have
cute.
one, and I've gotten used to it. Ours beeps at you when you get out of lane or when
Oh,
you...
that's a different feature though.
Yeah. I know, not all dash cams are...
But
made
does
equal,
it obstruct the view?
But it does not obstruct
Does
the
it
view.
bother you there? No.
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 No, and the sounds it makes doesn't bother me either. I get used to it.
Okay. So let's talk about those sounds. Another plus for the dash cam. These Rialtas are a little bit older and they don't have a whole lot of driver assist technology. Can we
Yes.
agree with that?
Yes.
You've got ABS braking and different things that are in there because it's a Volkswagen, right? And you know, Winnebago does what it does. Not much for driver assist.
Yeah.
But there's not adaptive cruise or lane assist or front assist, which is like watching cars with radar and cameras to see if they're hitting the brakes like we were talking about on 20, right?
Right.
So what's cool about the dash cams is you can get them, put them in place. They're recording the video in front of the car or front and rear, however, or front and rear and inside, if you really want that. And they also have some driver assist tech built in. So the one we got, which is a Cobra, we'll put the number in the thing. But the Cobra, first of all, it was not expensive. So I didn't spend a lot of money on it. There's some really nice
There's
setups
nice
you
ones
can get. We just wanted to
yeah.
start with something for our travels last year. The Cobra actually will watch using the camera. It uses imaging to see if there's an obstruction in front of you or now it doesn't pick up just like a tire on the road, but if there's a car or a truck coming across or the person in front of you is getting a little bit close. It also looks for lane, right? It tells you stay in your lane.
Yeah.
And it does make a lot of noise when that's turned on. You can turn it off. I leave it turned on because it's chiming at you.
Yeah.
And I don't leave it turned on because of the way you drive or the way I drive. I leave it turned on because of stuff's going on and it's easy to miss when you're paying attention out both mirrors or you got rattles and squeaks or the dog's doing whatever. So
Yeah. And honestly, for most Rialta drivers, unless I say for most, I don't know, but a lot of us have gotten really used to cars that warn you and alert you.
no, good point.
And so having that in your Rialta also is good because sometimes we rely on those lights to flash at us or, you know, the help that we get now in new cars. And if you're used to that, I really suggest getting it. That way, you know, you still have some help driving.
That's a really good point, actually, because most new vehicles have everything from backup camera to blind spot monitor, not even new cars, right? So there's a lot of that tech, and we're kind of used to it. And then we get in the older cars, and the Rialta counts,
Yes.
and there's not those things, and it's easy to forget, like, oh, why didn't it beep before I hit that post?
Yes. Because we've gone from brand new cars to, like I for a long time had an older Mustang. And so whenever I get done driving the brand new cars, I'd get in my Mustang and, you know, I'll look to see if I can change lanes. And I kind of look for that light flashing. And I'm like, wait a second, mine doesn't have that. So you get used to it really quickly in your mind. And so if you have that, I would highly suggest getting it for your Rialta.
Cool. So Dashcam Pros,
Yeah.
one's going to record what's going on ahead of you. Two, got some safety features to kind of keep you safe. I'd say three, they're pretty easy to connect. You can just stick them to the windshield. They'll come with a mounting kit or suction cup, whatever, and then just run them down to the power outlet there in the front. You know, just go off your 12-volt power.
Yeah.
That's all we did. Now, we haven't hooked up the rear. There's a rear cam that came with it. It branches off of it. We haven't hooked it up yet just because we need to run the wire up along the top edge. We might show us doing that. I don't know. We're waiting until it's not 400 degrees inside the camper.
We really need to do that because, again, somebody can hit the back of you and say that you did something wrong when in reality they were not paying attention. And a lot of those cameras will catch them looking down at their phone or whatever and see that they hit you while they were distracted. So that's the biggest thing in the back.
That's a really good point. We saw video of that with truck drivers and other folks, right? Or high milers, people are just on the road a lot. And they get rear-ended and someone would say, well, they hit the brakes all of a sudden or they were driving wrong, you know. And then the video shows the person's down eating their salad or doing something else. And
Eating their salad driving.
Wow, man, like it shows in the video.
Yes.
And that's really important, especially if there's an injury involved, right? Or in our case with the Rialta, there could be some pretty big damage.
Yes.
It's not like you're going to take it back and get that easily repaired.
Yeah. No.
So, okay, dash cam. Would you say it's one of the essential things that someone should put on their list of things to either add to or make sure are in your Rialta?
I would say yes. I mean, it's not necessary. You don't have to have it, but I say the more protection you have, the better.
Yeah, I think so too. I think it's not as high as the transmission cooler, checking that spare.
You want to be able to get down the road.
Doing the scan gauge, right? Do those things first.
Yeah.
And those are a little more costly maybe even, right? Then you can get to a dash cam. And when you get around the holiday time, that's when all the new models come out. That's when we got our clearance. This thing was a couple $100 and it ended up being, what, $59 or something?
Yeah, something inexpensive.
And it's a Cobra, right? So you can find really good deals, or get on Amazon, get one of those Chinese ones, whatever, man. There's plenty of dash cams out there.
Yeah.
If you've got one that you put in your Rialta and you love it,
yes.
share it
Please
down
share.
below. Yeah.
Yes.
Comment, put it on this video, because this is where folks with Rialtas are going to come to look for that information and talk about it.
Yeah.
And we're not going to, test 5 of them out and give you all the. That's already been done on YouTube by everybody else.
You can actually look that up.
Go look that up, and they send them free ones and whatnot. I'm not doing that. I'm not installing 5 dash cams and driving around the block in them. Just going to tell you, we have one. It works. It's cool. Get something. We might change it over time. They even have rear view mirrors that have video in the mirror. Camera on the front for the dash cam. Camera going back, so the mirror is video. If that helps you drive better, then do that. You can have that installed by a professional shop.
Yep.
Yeah. So watch the traffic out there. And Miss Nikki says probably a good idea to get a dash cam.
Yes.
Are there
Just protect yourself.
any negatives to it?
No, not that I know of.
Yeah, I wouldn't
I
say.
can't think of any negatives.
I don't
Other
think
than it costs you more money.
a couple of bucks, but it's less than a
But
tank
it
of
could
gas.
cost you. It could actually save you a lot of money if you get hit by a fool.
Yeah.
And it was not your fault.
You got some splaining to do.
Yeah.
That video will help you.
Yeah.
It's also a good security device. You can leave. We've left the dash cam on before in parking lots at a store,
When we go in the store.
which is neat. You can see people looking at your Rialta and leaving you notes about it. You can leave it on at the campground when you're going on a walk or a hike, so you can leave it on and it's filming what goes on around you. You can set them for like sentry mode, if you will. What would you call that? Like where it's on detection, where it just detects noise and movement.
Yeah, when movement comes, it comes on.
Kind of a security mode if you want. You could do that. You could even turn it around, face it to the inside, set it that way when you leave the camper, so if anybody gets in your camper, raccoons, squirrels, me looking for food.
If camper ends up missing, you can go home real quick and look it up. But that's if you have it online.
If you have it set up to
If
go
it's hooked-
to stream online, you
Yes.
can do that.
So some cameras aren't streamed online, some are.
Yeah, you can connect it to Wi-Fi at the campground or over to your hotspot. So
Yeah,
lots of options. Not very expensive. Not like it used to be, where it was a little more expensive and tough to get them.
Yeah.
There's many options out there, and we recommend it. So kind of a cool idea. And some of them will measure temperature and some other things in your car.
Yep.
It's kind of neat. All right.
So a couple of safety tips for you.
Cool. And Nikki will put the one that we have down in the description. Would you do that?
Sure.
All right, because you got the book on it.
We'll do.
I always save the book. Oh, by the way, here's an extra tip for all you Rialtans, right? So you install that dash cam that you got on a great sale from Black Friday or whatever, and where does that little manual and book and little direction sheet, where do you put that?
In your folder thing.
In your Winnebago
With all your receipts.
expandable bag with all the other stuff that runs the coach. Why? Because if you need it, it's there, right? Furnace, camera, radio, all that. You upgrade your stereo, put that in there. Keep it all in there. Number 2, do it for the next guy. The next guy or gal that buys your Rialta, it would sure be nice if they could figure out how to use all the stuff that you got in that coach, and that's a way to do it.
Yeah, we've heard of a lot of people who have gotten the Rialta and they're like, I don't have that book or whatever.
Oh.
So it is important to have that, all your receipts, what's been done to the Rialta and stuff to hand down to the next person if you decide to hand it down.
Yes. All right, well, hey, we got more coming, including, where's my prop?
Oh.
Coming soon, we're going to fix the generator.
Oh, yes.
So we're going to talk about flexible exhaust tubing and which size and what you need to get. We're going to see how this works, fixing that generator. So that's an onboard generator.
Then we can do some boondocking.
Stay tuned for that one. That's going to be in the how-tos or quick tips or whatever she decides to put it in. So we'll get into that. Tucker is definitely afraid of this because it is not a bone. It makes funny sounds. And
It runs.
And it's metal, so he says, I don't want nothing to do with
I don't like that thing.
Watch out, buddy. Okay. Anyways, we hope to see y'all soon down the road. Stay tuned for our next video. We're going to be talking about rallies and get-togethers and some other cool stuff.
Yes.
And in the meantime, please remember, be safe out there.
Be safe.
Spread some love, spread some joy.
Yourself.
Protect yourself and those around you. Have a good time doing it. And remember, God is good.
All the time.
All the time. All right. See you later. Bye-bye.
Bye.